How do you feel about how you can affect what he does?
Yeah, there's definitely different ways we can, I guess, not necessarily change up our pick and roll defense, but alter it, in slight ways to make it more effective against him. But, it's not just going to be the guy guarding him on ball. It's not just going to be the big guarding the pick and roll. Everyone's going to be guarding him and having to make him feel uncomfortable.
I think the organization all throughout the season have kept being confident that you'd be back, you'd be in. Were you always confident that you'd be back and be able to play enough games at this point to be in the starting lineup going into the playoffs?
Yeah, that was my goal. That was always a goal.
Were you confident that it would happen?
Yes. Yeah.
I think you actually said you were ahead of schedule too, right? Didn't you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you just have a good.
It was just the way it went. Yeah, it's as I've said. Our guys had a great program set up, and they took the best care of me. I just had to follow instructions.
Really, you don't take any credit for anything you did on your own or anything?
I put the work in. Whatever I had to work, I would put the work in. But they crafted the perfect plan. It was all them.
Does your body still feel the same when you're playing out there?
It feels better. It honestly feels better. I feel like I'm able to move on the full floor more freely, a little quicker. I know that word doesn't usually go with me, but I feel in a really good place right now.
You said you all kind of beating up on each other in practice. When was the last time you were able to do something
Yeah. I know, right? I guess I'll just say I think we were all kind of beating each other up a little equally, But it has been a long time, especially in the modern NBA. Practicing is so rare to begin with that getting a few good practices as we have the past couple days is really, we're fortunate to be able to do that, and it's been good for us.
Anything you have to do right before the playoffs? Like some guys may get a new pair of shoes. Brook may get a haircut maybe. We don't know. Anything that you have to do to be ready for it outside of the normal prep of your body?
We'll see, I suppose, right? Yeah, I know. We've been prepping body. We've been trying to do recovery stuff, cold tub, massage, all that stuff. Obviously watching film, thinking about these other guys constantly, what they do on court, what their tendencies are, what Darb said, what wine they like to drink, what their streaming preferences are, all that stuff and everything. But I think there are some personal things each person likes to do. You guys probably know what I do at this point, but we'll see. You guys will see. It's nothing. It's probably won't be anything exciting, but just my typical stuff.
When you compare though, emotionally going into the playoffs last year versus going into it this year, does anything feel different? Is there any sort of confidence or ease or something that maybe last year anxiety was? I don't know. How emotionally does your state feel going into now?
Well, I think the thing about this team, kind of just our natural tendency really is to be pretty level about everything. We kind of go in across the board, and we're confident of who we are, not overconfident or cocky or anything like that. But we're proud of the team and players that we are, and we all know our roles, know our goals, and so everything's kind of figured out and there. So I don't think anyone's really too high or too low right now.
So even coming off a title, is there any sort of ease or coming there, or you think it still feels about business as usual?
I think it's business as usual. Yeah. I don't think we have a lot of normal guys who just kind of, I don't want to say take everything in stride. We're appreciative for what we've done. We're happy to be playing basketball for a living. We enjoy the good moments. We can get frustrated at times, but we have a very balanced team, I think, emotionally, and for the most part, I don't know if you're going to see a lot phase us. We're not going to get overexcited for one thing or anything like that for the first thing that happens. I think, we're just all kind of as a group in a good place. And again, we know who we are.
Go ahead.
Back to Zora's awesome question about practice. I'm always curious about what we're walking into when we get to see you for 5 minutes, and we saw Giannis and Serge kind of getting into it. What I know you wouldn't tell us stuff, but what was there some kind of competition thing leading up to this, or what?
I think you guys came in just after scrimmage, so I don't know if there was something left over, but how guys are naturally. We're all competitive, and we can get into it in scrimmage. It's fun, we enjoy it. And again, it's something we don't get to do a ton. We usually kind of lace up now in the modern NBA just for the real games pretty much. So it's fun to go out there and really compete and practice when we get the chance.
In your first 3 years here, it felt like every post game I would hear one of Chris or Giannis or Bud mention like, hey, we're at our best when Blood is aggressive. Hey, we're at our best when Drew is aggressive. I think I maybe heard it once this entire season. Do you think it's just because Drew has gotten more comfortable? Is it something that you guys don't need to say anymore? Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, because it used to be like, it was an emphasis, and this year we don't really hear it.
I guess it's just honestly more, God, I don't want to use the word again. I just spent a whole 5 minutes on that last question about balance, but, it's finding that balance, between kind of our guys, Chris, Giannis, and Drew. And, I think, getting another full season in of where we can expect things from Drew, kind of get used to things coming from Drew and stuff like that, and him finding that for himself. And so it's just become more natural. I mean, when you think about it, it's pretty amazing the way things went last year. It was his first year here with us, and how much we kind of learned about each other on the fly.
What kind of just impact has Wes had on you guys this year?
I mean, Wes changes the game in so many ways, without even scoring. Obviously, he's an incredible shooter. He makes great plays for other guys, but I just see Wes out there and the way he changes the game defensively. I joke with him how I was talking about how quick I am not, but to see Wes move normally, with the ball or in transition or whatever it is, and then to watch him guard someone, and to see how quick he moves in those situations, staying with DeRozan or whoever it is, it's really a sight to behold. Like he's literally his shadow. It's a bit of a trite expression, but he's his shadow. He sticks with them, and he's I'm trying to think. Just like he's right on pace with them. It's almost as he's like thinking the same thing. He knows what they're going to do. It is. It really is. It's like a little Vulcan mind meld, right? Yeah, and he knows exactly where they're going to go, and he's right there with them the whole way. He's a professional athlete.
But how hard is in your 30s? That's got to be admired.
It is, absolutely. No, it blows me away. It really does every time I see it. Like, we'll just watch clips. Like, I think there was one clip he was guarding Luka at the end of the first half against us, the most recent game here, and he must have stuck with him for 10, 12 seconds to end the half. Like, he was just right there with him the whole way. I was like, man, see, it's impressive Wes has got to be pretty close to as old as me to see him sticking with Doncic like that the whole possession.
Hey, Brook, last year, Pat finished this quite off. He said, the experience thing, like, if you don't have experience, you say you don't need it. If you have it, you say, we had it. It's great. So how do you, for this, is there, I know experience doesn't make a ball go in or make you play good defense, but is there a comfort to knowing if it's end of game or tight or whatever, of just, you have been there, you kind of know what that feels like, the crowd, like just the emotional aspect of crowd and time and place, you know what I mean? Do you think a benefit for you all as you start this run again?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely a comfort thing. And it's something, fortunately, that most of us are used to at this point. We've been through it, we've seen it. So I guess that'll be one less variable, we have to deal with. There's always something else going on outside our control, and so it's one less thing.